Hey bass players, today I'm reviewing this Spector NS Dimension high performance multi-scale 5-string bass. I was super excited about ordering this bass for two reasons. One, it's my first Spector, and another, it's my first multi-scale bass. I'm also a fan of the Dark Class tone capsule since I reviewed the Ernie Ball Music Man Dark Ray 5 last year. As much as I was looking forward to this bass, I'm equally disappointed in the build quality of the bass that I received. So let's get those things out in the open before I continue. First is the nut. I have to say I've owned $300 entry-level basses with nuts set up better than this bass. Take a look at how high the strings are coming off the nut. Industry standard is around 0.3 millimeter, or the thickness of a business card. I'm not sure this bass was even set up from the factory because the distance here was thicker than my largest feeler gauge, which is 0.63, and you can see it just slid in there no problem. So it was probably around 0.7. It kind of makes the bass unplayable when it's that high coming off the nut. And then no matter what you do with the action here, it's always going to be high because that has to be done first. Out of curiosity, I did check the neck. The neck is straight, and so the action for all the other strings came in over 4 millimeters. That's high action. I'm curious to know if there are any other Spector Dimension NS players out there that experienced the same thing with this bass, or is this just a one-off from Spector that kind of missed quality control? Getting the nut filed by a pro is certainly an option, but it's not something that I feel like I should invest in for a bass in this price range. So what would you do? Would you keep the bass and have it repaired, or send it back? Let me know in the comments. Spector, like many builders, makes a premium USA bass and less expensive models made overseas, like in Korea, with similar parts. This is a Korean-made bass. But keep in mind, this bass is 5 times more expensive than their entry-level Performer series. There were also some minor cosmetic flaws here in the headstock. Also along the fretboard, there's some gouging in the fretboard, I guess, where they were doing the fret ends. And there's a white film all over the tuners, which I assume is some kind of lubricant. Now here's the other thing that really turned me off about this bass, and it's this really, really ugly, badly cut piece of plastic that they've used for the access control panel. I went through my whole guitar collection and bass collection, and with the exception of Fender Stratocasters, I couldn't find a single bass or guitar that has an access panel that's not recessed. It's a relatively small thing, and it doesn't affect playability, but for the price, that's kind of disappointing. So enough with the negative. This is a really, really stunningly beautiful bass. I really like the subtle sparkle to the white finish, and the body contour is great, very familiar to me since I've played Warwick Streamers for a long time. The tones are great too, from what I can tell, but this bass really isn't set up to be playable right now. So just playing some basic lines, you can tell these EMG pickups are really great, and I'm sure this Dark Class tone capsule is also sounding really cool. It's just not set up to where you can dig into the strings or just really get a good tone out of it. But here are some examples. Yeah, so the bass is pretty much unplayable, like I said, with the nut being so high. I've got the bridge set as low as they go, all the saddles as low as they will go, and the action's still about 4 millimeters. So I'm going to try to smash out some notes here and just show you how great the bass sounds. It really does sound great. And from what I can tell, it's not so bad with the multi-scale. It's amazing how quickly you kind of get used to it. I mean, up here, you really don't notice it at all. It's almost angled the right way if you're doing upper extensions on chords. Up in this area, but so that's both pickups together. I think with the lower action, you'd hear a little bit of the bite of the string. You'd hear a little bit of growl from the lower action. So you're not really getting that. So it sounds a little dead. Here's the neck pickup soloed. Super tight. Here's the bridge pickup solo. So let's go back to both pickups, and here's some tonal range on the EQ. This is like a mid-mid. Lots of dB there. I think I probably am distorting a little bit, but you can get the idea. Pulling it out. It's kind of a honky mid, so I think I'd probably use this mostly as pulling those mids out for rock and roll. This is a high mid. Pulling it out. It's probably around 700, close to 1K. Maybe a little bit higher. And here's the lows, and there's tons of lows on this thing. Whoa, it's a ton of sound. Super tight B string. I mean, you can just tell if these were set up right. Just an awesome bass as far as tone. And I'm not even really noticing the multi-scale. I mean, you kind of notice it. It's a little bit of a stretch down here. For this C. I kind of notice it there. Don't really notice so much up here. I would do some slap, but I can't slap. The action's too high. Well, I really don't like doing negative reviews, but Spector, you kind of dropped the ball on this one. Is it this specific bass, or is it all of Spector's Korean basses that are set up this poorly? Leave a comment below. I'd love to hear from someone who has one of these and what their thoughts are. As always, I appreciate you watching. Please like and subscribe, and I hope to see you soon. Take care.